All right, boys and girls. Good evening, friends and neighbors, and welcome back to the Rabun County Rag. Ooh, boy, it's been about a month, man, and I apologize, and I tell you what, I missed it. You know, previously I had another live stream that I do, and I was attached to a job, and the start time was early, and I couldn't do it. And this time I traveled west out in the town of Hereford, Texas, and the clocks jumped backwards an hour. And so I was still on the job site when I was supposed to start this string. So I just couldn't make it work. I couldn't get it to work. But I'm back. There's just something about getting together, talking about these mountains and sharing what matters. And right on time. Spring is here. Can you believe it? Tomorrow marks the official first day of spring. Man, where did the winter go? You can feel it, though. Well, not necessarily today. It was kind of cool all day. But we got a little more daylight, a little more warmth, and a whole lot more possibility. Time to shake off the winter doldrums, and get moving again. But before we go any further, let's remember why we're here. We are a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture, families, and environment. We come here to exchange ideas, resources, and information. Well, you know, spring isn't just a season. It's a reset button for those willing to use it. Got a whole lot of things going on. Of course, deer season is over, but we've got a brand new season coming up. But anyway, just a little bit of background. I was out in a town called Hereford, Texas. We were demolishing 40,000 square feet of factory. It was a factory. I can't really go into who it is because I do have some privileges that I need to maintain. But anyway, and it had a radio tower right in the middle of the building. So we had to demo up to the building and then crack that radio antenna, let it down. And it was about 120 feet or so. But anyway, Hereford, Texas is about 47 miles southwest of Amarillo, Texas. And Hereford, it is I believe it's still the cattle capital of that part of the country. Not far from the Chisholm Trail, I think, and all that stuff. But yeah, they do. They finish off cattle. There's no other way to put it. They finish off cattle. They bring them into these huge feedlots. I put the drone up to document some progress, and I did a little spin around and looked, and man, you would not believe those feedlots. They're huge. And it's just, it's a muddy mess. Well, it's not really mud. And the wind blows all the time. 20 miles an hour all day long is not uncommon. And we had a couple dust storms come through there, by golly. And we had 30, 40 mile an hour winds with gusts to 60. And the dust was, well, I'll say it's dust, but it wasn't. It was actually, how can I put this nicely? Dried bovine fecal matter. And I opened the door, man. I watched a big old swath of this dust just blow in and settle on the dashboard. And I got home, my wife was kind enough to volunteer to clean that mess up. And she went with a damp rag to rub that stuff, and it just turned to mud. Well, it wasn't mud. But anyway, I thought about y'all while I was out there, and I am glad to be back in the home studio. I've got this home studio and a couple live streams before that. I used a background, a green screen background. It looked like I was in a cabin. If y'all get a chance, go back and look at that and tell me which background you like the most. You like this one, or you like that, I don't know what you call it, artificial green screen? Anyway, just a different type. Or do you like it when I change it up, or do you like the same old steady thing like we've got going on here? I got Pleurophoria right here. I got the old skull over here. Kind of represents the things that I think about and how I do things and who I count on to help me. And I just like to represent it all. This is the Rabun County Rag. Talked about it several times. Back in the old days, and there's still some ham radio operators out there, but before there was long distance telephone and long distance radio. Well, they had long distance radio, but didn't have cell phones and things like that. And old boys would get on the ham radios, and they could talk, depending on the band, of course, they could talk from 100 miles to several hundred miles to halfway across the world. And they would have a certain time. One region would talk to another region. They would pick a frequency on a certain band, and they would get on there and exchange ideas and exchange what's going on in their community. And they called it chewing the rag. So I kind of took that up. And with hopes of building a community where we could get together once a week to start out and chew the rag and share what's going on in our community here in Rabun County and Clayton, Georgia, and surrounding areas. So, been doing it for a while now. Hasn't had a great deal of success, but I think I'm getting better at presenting myself. I generate a little music, and now I don't have to worry about copyright strikes that you heard. Yeah. I did that all on my... Well, I had some help from an AI, but I set up the tune and started it and did some monkey around with it and came up with that. So I'm working toward that kind of thing, so I don't have to worry about copyright. I don't want nobody having any claims on what we do as a community, but I wanted it to have some spice in the live stream. So I've been doing, what I can to improve. So if you've got any suggestions on how we can improve this, send me a comment. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for active participants. So I'll give you the login information for this channel. And if you want to lead it one evening, you're more than welcome to. If you want to start a stream with it using a different night, using the same name, Rabun County Rag, you can get with me and we'll work it out. If you want to, we can set up where we have guests and we can talk about a subject. Deer season's just now over, but next year, if you want to be a guest on here, we can talk about deer hunting techniques or trout fishing techniques, or we've got a lot of lakes around here. If you want to talk about your fishing experience, if you're a fishing guide, you want to get your name out there, come on board. If you're a contractor who does specialty work for the surrounding area, and you want to talk about some of the things that you do and showcase what you have done, come on in, welcome aboard. Let's do that. Let's make it happen for you. That's what I say. But Anyway, where are we? We were hunting, fishing, and trapping report. Now, I'm not real sure what the day. I tell you a story. I was coming back from Hereford, Texas, and pulled into a hotel in a small town called Holly Springs, Mississippi. I was coming the southern route. Got to Memphis and crossed the river and headed south. I was going to wiggle through Birmingham, go over to Roanoke and pay my daughter and brand new, well, he's not brand new anymore. He's 7 months, 7-month-old grandson. Pay them a visit, had some lunch with them before I came on home. And I walked across there to, there's a Love truck stop, or I think it was a Love's, and they had an old hamburger joint in there. I think it was Carl Jr.'s. And I walked in there and got me a burger and some fries. I came back, got out of the car and started walking across the lot. And the old boy jumped out of a pickup truck and slung a shotgun over his shoulder. And I heard him rack it, make sure it was empty. And I stopped and looked, raised an eyebrow. He says, "It ain't loaded." I said, "I'm cool." And he says, "Well, I'm here for turkey hunting." I said, "I was beginning to wonder if I was in a bad neighborhood. Maybe I need to get my piece out." And he laughed. But they started last week over in Mississippi. They must have an abundance of turkey over there for him to go ahead and be hunting. I don't think ours comes up till, I think there's this weekend it starts youth and mobile for turkey season. And then the last weekend, I think the last Saturday in March, I might be wrong. If you know better, let me know when turkey season officially starts and all that. But that's right. It's almost time to chase them gobblers down. Opening day, late March, typically the last Saturday in March. Youth season just before that. I think youth season starts this weekend, the 15th. Anyway, I'd like to learn a lot more about the old gobblers. I got a couple around here. I get out there with a call every now and then. I ain't seen no toms, but I have seen a couple hens, and it's been a while since I've seen them. But spring gobblers, they say they're roosting in the hardwood near ridges and water and moving to open areas for strutting. I have seen them in the little meadow I've got up top, and then there's a family graveyard down below here. Maybe I need to walk around to see if I can't find them, see if there's any. I know there are a couple hens. I just wonder if them big old boys is out there chasing them. I think their food sources is bugs and insects, and big early in the season, and fresh green growth. I got the collard greens out there. It wintered over, and I got some new ones coming up. Maybe they'll come and try and have some collard greens. The collard greens are going to seed, as a matter of fact, so maybe they'll ease on by. Scout root and the hunting techniques. Some of the tips I've heard is to scout the roost sites at dawn and dusk. Set up before first light. Soft calling early. Don't overdo it. Let the gobbler hunt you. Patience kills more turkeys than calling does. That's what I think about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So touch bases with me. Send me a text and let me know what your tips and tricks are for getting them gobblers. All right. The old timer says, if you're working too hard, you're probably doing too much. Yeah. It's cold in the morning. It was cold this morning. Hey, we still got some predator hunting continuing and trapping, wrapping up toward the end of the season. Small game is winding down. Spring marks the transition, not the end. But now, the fishing is fixing to come on a little stronger, I think. Spring fishing and the warm-up season is upon us. Now, excuse me, I got my hair cut in about 6 weeks without having a haircut and an old beard trim. This thing was looking old raggedy and stuff, and I asked God to a barbershop kind of round it out for me. And I'm trying to break a habit of reaching up there and tugging on it all the time and making it grow funny. Woo! Anyway, so spring fishing, it's really starting to wake up. That's what I hear. The trout start and stay hot early. The bass, they'll start moving into the shallows as the water warm, and the old panfish start staging. I can smell them old panfish and that old musty smell, and look out on the lake where I do a lot of hiking and walking, and I can see them old plates, like dinner plates. They wallow out there, and y'all help me. Is it the male that defends the nest, or is it the female? Y'all straighten me out on that. Anyway, some of the early spring fishing tips. Fish warmer parts of the day and focus on the shallow transitions. Slow presentations still win early. Now, spring for trout is a whole different story. Spring is prime time, slightly more aggressive than winter, still using those nymphs, small spinners, and natural drift. Go ahead and start prepping for the warm season now. Cleaning re-spool reels, yes, I need to do that. I tell you what, you do 1,000 casts on that old 4-pound test line, it gets kind of rough. It gets kind of twisted, loses its flexibility, and doesn't cast as far. So, yep, I got to do that. Just get rid of those rusty hooks, put on some new ones, start scouting your new fishing spots, and get repairs done. If you got a dock, fix it up. Boats, fix that up. And access spring success. Make sure you do fix your access. The spring success is built late in winter into early spring. So get after it, guys, if you're a fisherman. Now, this morning I got to thinking about it. These spring days, you got to be aware that the weather can change in a hurry. Like today, that sudden cold snap we've had the past few days as the weather continues to make its transition from winter to spring. The rain, it gets you if you're out there walking, it starts raining, it gets slick in a hurry. Then we got, other things. If the boating safety, life jackets, no exception, and the cold water is still a real risk. You may have a sunny day and it feels good, and you may not even have a jacket on out there fishing, but that water is real cold still. And hypothermia, if you get into that water by hook or crook, wouldn't take long to turn into a hazardous situation, dangerous to your health through hypothermia. That cold water, if you fall in now, you're in trouble fast. Hypothermia, like I said, is still real. And the shock response in cold water. Them old mountain streams, they stay cold all year long. All right, make sure you respect the spring. It hasn't earned your trust yet. All right. I tell you what, everybody getting ready for the spring. The transition pattern, warmer days and cold nights, occasional storms strolling through, old Georgia, Tornado Alley and all that. And they came down the road. I guess they getting ready for those spring storms. They're cleaning up around the power lines. So spring doesn't arrive all at once. It negotiates its way in. So take heed to the warning. Anyway, what time we got? It is 6:20. I got another 40 glorious minutes with you guys. Give me the thumbs up if you catch this on a rerun. Make sure you leave me a comment. Tell me if you enjoyed it. Tell me how I can improve. Next, you know what I was doing today? Boy, I tell you what, I got a little pantry down here in the man cave in the bunker, and I got a little pantry back there. It's got a refrigerator and a freezer, but it's also got a growing station. It's a metal rack, and I've got some lights set up and some little heating pads, and I had to replace a heater. It's, one of those old chicken coop heaters or whatever, but I got another one of those today, and set the timers up. Better go check on those later on, see if I got them set up right. Timer set up on the light, got the thermostat set for the heater so it stays around 70, and the lights stay on for 18 hours a day, and the heating pads are at 77. So I got one tray started today. Bought the little tabs, little expandable tabs, and set up 2 trays of 72. So that's 144 plants I intend to. But I got one tray, and man, I don't know. I guess I'm like anybody else with tomato. Can't ever get enough of them. I got a couple of heirlooms and some Better Boys, some beef steak, some Roma, and various cherry and grape tomato. I hope they come up. I used last year's seed. Maybe they'll come up. I'm hoping. It's a balance, You go pay $3 for, or $4 or $5 for a good sized seedling. Man, that's crazy. I couldn't see paying over $1, and I bet I ain't got a dime in all of them I plant. In each one I planted today, a dime each. So maybe $7.20 in all of them if they all come up. And then seeds from last year, I kept them dry and stored in the pantry there. So we'll see how it goes. I got a whole nother tray tomorrow. I'm going to start some herbaceous things, some cilantro, rosemary. I got some rosemary. I'd like to get a couple rosemary bushes started. I've not had much fun with that over the years, but I hope we improve this year. And so that's what I've been doing today, because it's time to think about gardening. I got an old test kit in there. Test for acidity, pH, nitrogen, phosphate. Lord, I don't know if I want to fool with that or just go out there and gather some samples and send it to UGA for them to do all the work. I don't know. Y'all send me a message or a chat and tell me what you think I should do. I'm real interested in hearing from you on how you do it. But anyway, that's what we're doing around here. Can't ever figure it out. We just keep going at it. Just keep going at it year after year. You know how a gardener is. Heck, it don't work. And the soil prep, testing the soil. Now, I'm always adding compost. Matter of fact, when I was out in Hereford, Texas, this company, I forget the name of it, but they're looking for places to drop their chips, arborist or whatever. And I'm on the list. If they've got some nearby, instead of paying to dump it, I'll allow them to come up here and dump it. And I'm just about out of last year and the year before, so I got a brand new pile out there. The thing about it is, I use it for fill. I use it for everything. And then as it ages, I'll turn it into the garden and add organic matter. Got a bunch of cardboard this year. I'm thinking about, I've seen some folks doing that, using cardboard for compost, just laying it down on there. But I am going to lay it down on there and see if it can kill some of the weeds, let them cook off before I put the plants in. Let me know if you're aware of that idea, putting the cardboard down on your garden. Do you leave it on there or pull it up, or try and break it up and just plant through it or around it? This is going to be my second year of no-till. I wasn't real pleased with the results last year, but talking to friends and neighbors, they said they weren't real pleased either. I think we had a real wet year. Tilling gives you a quick start. It's more disturbance to the ground, and the no-till's slower, but it's healthier long-term for the soil. Who wants to wait 3 or 4 years to see if that's true? The old tilling is tried and true. It's no-till, in my mind, is not tried and true. You hear other people swear by it, but man, especially after last year's result. But that's why I was putting them seeds in today, and I'll finish tomorrow. Now, the old standard I've always gone by is a week or two after Easter before you plant. So everything should be germinated by Easter. Another week or two after that, I'll start putting them out on the patio outside the door here and letting them start hardening off. And they keep eye on them. If the weather gets, I don't know, below 40 or 50, I'll bring them back inside. But, don't rush it. Everybody gets in a hurry. And last year I felt I was late, and I did no-till, and man, I was dissatisfied with the performance, and I thought I ain't liking this. And then everybody else said they had troubles too. It was a kind of wet, cool summer last year. But garden wisdom. Garden rewards patience, not excitement. But I'm still excited about getting out there. I'm still excited. Tell me how you're doing with your garden this year, what you intend to do. If you're going to have a garden at all, I would like to know whether you have a garden. I would like to know what you're planting. Oh, tomatoes. I started hopefully 6 crookneck squash and 6 zucchini. If I get a 50% germination rate and get 2 out of those 3 to produce, then I guess I'll be all right. It's really nice to have that fresh garden vegetables. And then 6 cucumber. And, probably end of April, I'll probably look at starting some new seedlings and try and put something in trailing. And last year I tried that sisters planting where you have a corn, beans, and a squash, and I'm probably going to try that again this year. Just 2 or 3 different piles and mounds in a couple different locations just for the old giggles, and see how that turns out. But anyway, succotash. Make me some succotash. Man, is anybody else getting these old spam calls again? Man, my pace is picking up. They must have somebody Fresh must have sold them my number. Hey, little crooked people out there. Old Habib called me the other day. He's, why you call me Habib? I said, well, you don't sound like Andy, brother. He says, well, I'm not Arab. I'm, what do you call it? Filipino. And I was already mad. And I said, so he says, yeah, I'm educated. I said, so that's good. You studied hard to get a job scamming people over the telephone. And he hung up on me. I shouldn't have said that. I couldn't help myself, man. How do y'all handle it? You can't have the home phone, man. That phone would ring off the hook and people just turn the ringer. It has totally destroyed the home phone business. You know, if a political party put as one of the planks in their platform that they will end spam calls, I'm sure they would be a shoe-in. Y'all listening, politicians? Hell, man, the old country boy could run for office and that'd be his only thing, and he'd win by a landslide. People are so sick and tired of those guys. Now that they've got AI, they're getting slick, and it ain't nothing but one constant agitation. I tell you what. It's just a darn mess, man. No privacy on the phone. Anyway, where was I? It is 6:31, the 19th day of March. Tomorrow is the first day of spring. And, it's time. The weather's warming up. I'm sure spring is waking the community up. Outdoors events starting back. Flea market. They said the flea market in Mount City was going to give it one more year. Boy, that'd be real nice. I hadn't been to that flea market in quite a while. I think if they're open, I might try and. I know the school and community activities are increasing. I think I've got the pre-K, kindergarten, I don't know, the old Grant boy's got him a play coming up, and I get to go see him in his budding acting career, and I am excited about it. And of course, the festivals and the gatherings that are coming up on the horizon. If you've got something coming up and you want to share it, send me a chat, and I will put it in the show and broadcast it. And if anybody sees it watching this, then they can contact you. Just give me your contact information. Tell me what it is. Of course, I know there is the Clayton Tribune is a constant source or outlet for those type of notifications, and I'm sure they have a larger subscriber base than I do at this point, and good for them. They just better look out, because I'm coming to get them. We're gonna be a local source of information and for current events and activities and everything else. We're gonna get out here and mass communicate. All right. Well, it says the old Starlink's performance is dropping off. That's the price you pay. But where I live at, there's no way I could be doing this with any service that is provided via wire from this location. It just ain't going to happen. So thank you, Starlink. Starlink, I appreciate it. And YouTube, I appreciate you too. You giving me an opportunity to create a platform, and it's up to me how well it goes. I appreciate the opportunity that both of you have allowed for me to mass communicate. All right. Raven County, it don't wake up real fast or loud, but it wakes up steady. It ain't like them old city folks down there. Speaking of which, have you started to see an increase or influx of these city folks? What's the real estate prices doing? I've seen some houses for sale that I didn't think would be for sale. They're small family homes, but I guess they see the market correction coming, or they see an opportunity to move up with maybe these fuel prices will come back down once they satisfy or conclude that business in the Middle East. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think them fellas is dangerous. It's like the old KKK days. They didn't care about you, man. They didn't like you. They was gonna get rid of you, and them folks expressed how they felt about America on a pretty regular basis. Death to America. And launching all those darn missiles and drones. I don't know. That sounds like an awful hateful bunch, and I hate that you have to take that kind of measure. But given the time and effort they were putting into it, I'm sure that it would become something far more deadly and ugly, other than drones and missiles with conventional warheads on them they'd be launching. So I can't say I don't support it. Doesn't make any sense. I hate to be a big gorilla jumping all over somebody, but you know the old saying, don't you? Don't poke the bear. I'm sorry, you can't poke the bear. I ain't even got a glass of water here. Thirsty, y'all. Send me a chat. Somebody pop in here and look at me. Say howdy. Even if you watch it on the rerun, say howdy. Got some cold coffee. And I went to the doctor today. And he told me I was fat and ugly. Oh, well. He said, you got to watch what you eat, man. I said, I watch every bite, Doc. He said, well, don't eat nothing fatty. I said, like tater chips or what? He said, just fatty. Don't eat nothing. Doggone. That's when I said, I want a second opinion. He said, okay. You're ugly too. Doggone me. Hurt my feelings. And then they wanted to start poking and prodding on me. Took my blood sugar, my A1C. He says, that's high. You got to do something about it. I said, God almighty, man. Am I falling to pieces or what? And he said, we're going to go to EKG. And they made me disrobe down to the belly button and stuck all these leads on me, and two old girls in there, and they was giggling at my fat and unsightly self, I reckon, but they was just giggling, having a good time. And then the phlebotomist. Oh, and the urinalysis. Man, I had to work over today, and I got back, and I haven't been in that grow room since last March. I was looking at the date. I date everything and mark everything what I'm growing, and it's been a year since I paid it any attention. So I had to go in there, and then I had to wash the trays because they were filthy and get myself organized, and then I had to come in and script this live stream so I have something to talk about, so I don't have to bumble through as much as I do on the if I didn't have a script. And then went back in there and started. I got that one tray done, and ran up and ate a couple pieces of cheese and some, I don't know what it was, some kind of lunch meat, but had a bite of that. and rushed back down here, said hello to the wife. She'd been out today doing something or another, I guess. And here I am. And we're moving along. Got about 20 minutes of you all. And I'm going to go upstairs, put my feet up for a little while. And tomorrow I've got to edit a couple videos and get those posted. And then the grand boy's coming over to spend the night. I don't know if he's spending one or more nights or whatever. And what else? This weekend, man, I didn't get in till Saturday, and then drove to Atlanta on Sunday. I bought my wife a new TV for putting up with me being gone so long, and then I scripted a bunch of videos on Sunday afternoon after we then went to Duluth to get this TV, and then came back. She started washing that car, and I started finishing up the work and got done about 7 o'clock and then 6 o'clock, and then set up that TV. And Monday morning I was up at 5 a.m. to do my other live stream. And what else did I do on Monday? Anyway, I got a list of stuff. I keep a journal. And Tuesday, got up. And anyway, man, this morning, though, I slept in. I slept in to 6:30. I'm a 4:30 guy, so that was kind of weird. And I believe I'd go to sleep right now. I guess being out west for 6 hours or 6 weeks and working 12 hours a day wore this old fat boy out, and having to make up for it right now. So, and then I talked to Dad, and he go down to see him. And this is Thursday. Oh, went to the accountant. Yeah. Any of y'all like going to the accountant? Worked on taxes all day. Half a day Monday. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. It was raining on Monday. Returned that car on Monday. On Tuesday, I worked on taxes. And Wednesday, dropped off the taxes on Tuesday. Wednesday, made some breakfast. Recorded videos on Tuesday. And tomorrow I got to get up and edit them. And Dr. Beck, he really got me today. Anyway, I need to update this journal. Y'all send me a text, man. I'm trying to, where am I? Oh, I planted my garden early once. Man, and fed them deer real good. Boy, they like them young plants. Okay. You know, you can't buy a heater in the springtime. You can find them everywhere in the wintertime, in the fall, but you can't find them in the spring. Uh-oh. All right. Y'all got any good jokes? You know, Pluriforia, she does a real good job. But, you know it's spring in Raven County, right? When you wear a jacket in the morning and you regret it by lunch. Granddaddy said, don't trust spring, it lies. Anyway, I'd like to shout out to all you folks getting ready for your garden. Y'all, I'd like to hear from you. I still looking. I'd like to have some manure that's been through a heat. So if y'all got a big old barn, a horse barn, a cow barn, prefer a cow. I'll even take some chicken manure. But if you're listening, you got a load of manure. I don't care if it's been through a heat, I'll bring it home, stack it up, and hold it for next year. But I got a little bit of mulch hay left. I'd like to have a little more. I'd like to shout out to you, turkey hunters, putting on the boots on the ground early and getting up and getting after it. Let's see. I am glad I am back at home and here with you. Just the opportunity to sit here and chat. One of these days people going to pop in and say something silly and we can get a conversation going. I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of people put a lot more effort into it, but I got a whole lot of other things to do, and I just want to, if it takes 4 or 5 years, I don't care. I ain't got nothing better to do. I ain't doing nothing but being semi-retired. I'm almost done here. The Raven County Rag. Every Thursday. Hopefully I won't have to miss any more. There we go. And tomorrow, man, I got to get up early, because I got to get them darned old videos edited and posted before the grandson gets here. I'd like to spend some time with him. If I can shake his nana off of him, that's all right. As long as I get to see him, that's fine with me. Anyway, all you families out there shaking off the winter and starting to get outside again. These longer days and warmer air. Well, we had some cold ones. Had a little snow this year, a couple times, couple hard freezes. I got the cistern up there, which reminds me I need to pay our little homeowners thing. It's not an official one or a written one. It's a gentleman agreement where we share the cost of providing each other water. We got a pump and a couple check valves that pumps uphill and it holds it in a cistern and it flows back down, uses gravity to provide water pressure. And one of the freezes got a ball valve on that thing because we hadn't done any maintenance on it in a long time, so we had to call the plumber out and get that taken care of. And now there's been some talk about getting together and doing some insulating and some general repairs on the house up there that cistern sits in. But anyway, that's coming up. But it's nice that the weather's warming up. Maybe I can get some fishing in. I have promised a trip down to South Georgia to visit my father. So that's coming up. Hopefully I can figure out how to keep all this stuff going and get away for a couple of days to go visit. I hate to miss another one of these interesting evenings that we have together. But also I'd like to shout out to anyone trying to improve something in their life this spring, whether you're putting in a garden or building some fences or a chicken coop or changing jobs or committing to take the kids fishing more often. I'm shouting out to you. We're all busy. We're all got a lot going on. And for you to take that time, time is a real funny thing. To a young person, a day, a week, a month, and a year is a long time. And, as you get older, it becomes relative. It becomes shorter and shorter and shorter. Well, we forget about our children in those long days. And we've got to take the time to interact with these babies and show them the way to behave and how to act and how to fish and camp and plant a garden and tumble rocks, get a rock tumbler and just do all those things with them. So let me hear from you. What are most of you looking forward to this spring? Fishing, the turkey hunting, the gardening? Y'all let me know. What's it, just being outside again? Drop a line in the comments. And if you got pictures, we want to see them. If you bag a big old fat turkey, I want to see that thing. If you got some pictures of a deer you took this year, I want to see that. Matter of fact, I'm trading some farm-raised beef for some venison sausage in the next couple of days. Make me some chili, some venison chili. Boy, I tell you what, venison chili, venison spaghetti, venison something. But it's getting close to that time. We've had this 51 minutes we've been together so far to sit here and chat it up. I've been doing all the talking, but, one of these days somebody's going to say, hey, there he is. Let's go watch him. Let's get in there with him and see if we can't cause some trouble. That's what I want to do. I don't see somebody trying to get in here and upset me or something. I don't care, just something. But anyway, it's springtime in Appalachia. I saw them little old violets, and little purple violets, man, they ain't no bigger than your pinky nail out there in the yard today. When I'd walk around or go out and do something or another, and then get too cold and come back in, just stretching the legs or whatever. And it was nice to see those. You see some of the other stuff greening up. So it's a real pleasure to see spring knocking on the door. We still got a few more cold days, I'd imagine, but now that we know that it's coming, it's good to see it, and I am grateful. I'm also grateful for all y'all out there. Whether you watch this or not, I don't care if you've never heard my name. I am still grateful for you and what you do every day to take care of your family, take care of your neighbors, go to church, take an active role in your community. I'm grateful you're doing that. That shows a sense of community. And after all, we're a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture, families, and environment. And we come here to exchange ideas, resources, and information. And let spring remind us it's time for a fresh start. Stay grounded and to look out for one another. Thank you for welcoming me back and for spending part of your evening with the Rabun County Rag. Until next time, keep your boots muddy, your lines tight, and your hearts grateful. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the end screen and let it play on out for a minute or two. And I'll see you next week. And until then, as always, have a grateful day. Have a grateful week. And we'll see you next week.
scrap iron man. Red clay caked on my Sunday shoes, church let out, but the work stays put. Mama's hands cracked like the winter mud, counting jars, but the shells look thin. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, fall down, then we get up twice, scratching out a living in this hard Appalachian life. Cold dust deep in my granddad's cough, his stories hang in the kitchen smoke. Lightning took the oak, we burned it slow, warm for a night, then the cold came back. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, fall down, then we get up twice, scratching out a living in this hard Appalachian life. They pass down names and patchwork quilts and unpaid bills and unbent wheel. This rears, this rock, this flood, this fight. Hard Appalachian life. Hard Appalachian life. Red clay caked on my Sunday shoes, church let out, but the work stays put. Mama's hands cracked like the winter mud, counting jars, but the shells look thin. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up,